Hey, Mike with No Problems Gaming here. In today's video, we'll be going through the top 10 best free Nintendo Switch games, so let's get into it. Now, a couple things before we jump into the video. All of these games are free, but many of them do contain things like battle passes or season passes or microtransactions. So you definitely can play the games for free, but if you want to unlock additional features or all the benefits of the game, you might need to pay something to access these different battle passes or to take advantage of additional characters or costumes or features like that. Now, unfortunately, some of these games also have kind of a pay-to-win element in some cases, where you maybe can level up your characters faster or access better items more quickly, or it may take you many hours of grinding and playing the game consistently to get the best things, where you might be able to pay for those things and get access to them early. But I know for me, that's not really something I get into. So overall, you can play all these games for free, but if you want to take things to the next level, you certainly have that option to pay for things. On top of that, I haven't played every single free game for the Nintendo Switch, so if there's some that I missed or some of your favorites I don't talk about, let me know in the comments below, as I'm always looking to add great games to my game backlog. But with that said, let's jump into the list. Alright, so the first game on the list is Pac-Man 99. And so this is a battle royale game while playing Pac-Man. And so it's a classic arcade game where you go around trying to collect the dots, getting power-ups to eat ghosts. But in this scenario, you're playing against 99 other players playing the exact same thing. And so they've revamped the graphics of the game and added some intense music to the gameplay as well, making it more fun. They've also added some enhanced features as well. So in this version of the game, not only are you playing Pac-Man, but you can send ghosts and kind of ghost Pac-Man to the other players' screens to either slow them down or make the game more difficult for them and eliminating them from the game. There's also options where you can level up your player as you go through the game and beat more stages as you play. And so this could speed up your Pac-Man or make them more powerful or eat through the sabotage ghosts faster. There's kind of different options you can choose as you play, which again took a classic game and made it even more fun in my opinion and added in a battle royale element to it as well. The game is super addicting, and I definitely recommend it, and it's awesome that it's free as well. And I definitely recommend checking it out. A similar concept to this game is the next game on the list, and that's Tetris 99. And so again, similar concept. They took the original Tetris game, spruced it up a bit, added more flavor, more colors, added a new version of the soundtrack. And again, in this instance, you play Tetris like normal, but it's you versus 99 other players. And so this time, when you solve Tetrises, or again, complete the line and move the layer of blocks down, it sends those layers to other players to try and take them out of the game faster. And so again, similar to Pac-Man 99, this is super addicting. It takes an old school classic and puts it in that battle royale format, which again ups the intensity and makes the gameplay more addicting. And it's definitely another one of the free games I suggest picking up on Nintendo Switch. Alright, so the next game on the list is Super Bomberman R Online. And so again, this takes that battle royale concept but puts it into the Bomberman universe. And so in this game, you play as various different versions of Bomberman in a multi-map area where it's you against 64 other players. And so what's cool about this game, again, you run around the different maps, you use your bombs to blow up blocks, but also take out other players. And as you blow up these blocks, you'll discover power-up items like enhanced bombs, flames that make your bombs travel further, additional bombs you can carry, skates that enhance your speed, and many more power-ups as well. Another thing that's really cool is you can choose from a variety of different types of Bomberman when you start the Battle Royale, and each one kind of has their own unique stats going into the game. So some might be faster than others, some might start with additional bombs, some of them their bomb power might go further, and again there's a bunch of different options between the different characters. And so again, similar to these other Battle Royale games, this is the Bomberman version, and you'll play through different maps. There'll slowly be less and less maps to choose from, forcing to a final showdown in the final map between all the remaining Bombermen. But again, it's a lot of fun if you enjoy Bomberman, and I definitely recommend it. Alright, the next game on the list is Dauntless. And so this is a unique action RPG that plays similar to games like Monster Hunter. And so in this game, the world has been torn apart, and now massive monsters or behemoths are raging across the land, and you take on the role of a slayer, which is a hunter that goes goes out to defeat these beasts. And so you can play this game solo, you can play with groups of friends, you can join up to 6 other players to take on these massive monsters. And like I said, it's more of an action RPG where you have different weapon types to choose from, power-ups that you can acquire, and much, much more. The graphics maybe aren't as good as a game like Monster Hunter Rise, and it has more of a cartoony element similar to games like Fortnite, but a lot of the core game mechanics do stay relatively the same. There's a bunch of different quests that you can go on, and big monsters you can take on, and so if you want that Monster Hunter type gameplay, but more of a free version, I would definitely recommend checking out this game. Alright, the next game on the list is Pokemon Unite. Alright, so this game is a multiplayer battle arena game, and similar to games like League of Legends. And so basically how it works is you choose a different Pokemon when you start the arena battle, and you'll play on a team of 5 players, and you're going against another team of 5 players, in hopes of scoring the most points by the end of the game. And so in this arena, there's various different spheres that you can travel to, and once you've defeated enough Pokemon in the arena, or defeated enough other players, you'll earn points where you can then score goals and earn points for your team. And so what's cool is you start off with your first evolution of the various Pokemon that you might choose, and as you battle other Pokemon in the arena, your Pokemon will eventually evolve and become more powerful. And so there's different moves that your Pokemon will learn as you play through the arena, and again there's different types of Pokemon that you can play as, so maybe it's Blastoise or Venusaur or Charizard, and each one has their own unique strengths and weaknesses, where some might be a ranged attacker, others might be a melee attacker, and so on. So I definitely found this game to be really addicting and a lot of fun, and there's various different battle passes and items that you can get as you play throughout the game. You'll earn points and coins that you can use to buy different outfits, to get items for your different Pokemon to power them up. And there's really a lot to this game. They're constantly adding in new quests and new challenges that you can take on, but this is one of those games that has that element of a lot of microtransactions, and even an element where you can level up and get items faster if you're willing to spend money. So in some cases it kind of becomes a pay-to-win scenario. That's not the most ideal thing, but if you can handle not buying those different things or holding off on buying outfits and skins for your Pokemon, I think it's a great game that you're able to play for free. And if you like Pokemon, if you like MOBA games, this is a cool one worth checking out, and I definitely recommend it. Alright, the next game on the list is Asphalt 9 Legends. And so this is a pretty cool racing game that's free to play. And so when you start off with one car that you have access to, and you'll be able to go through some different tutorial races. And what's really cool about this game is that you can play a ton of different cars. It's really fast paced. There's nitro boosts that you can use. There's even an element of drifting in the game, and you can even use that drifting ability to do a 360 spin and take out other players, which is pretty cool. All the levels are relatively short as well, so most races will maybe take you a minute or 2 tops. And so again, it is free to play, but there are different microtransactions within the game as well. There's kind of a race pass that you can get, but a lot of the gameplay, you can play more than enough just playing the game for free. So for example, each car that you unlock has so many different times you can use it, and then it runs out of gas. But you can refill the gas, and it maybe takes a couple minutes for it to refill, and then you're able to play again. But at the same time, if you have multiple cars which you eventually acquire through playing the game, each one of them has their own gas tank, and so if you time it right, you can be filling up one car while you're playing with another car. And again, even if most races take a minute or 2 tops, once you have a couple cars, you can play for maybe a half an hour to an hour just with a single gas tank in each car, and then that gives you more than enough time to recharge, or again, simply take a break and play one of the other free games here as well. So I really think this is a great game. It's a ton of fun, it's super addicting, and I definitely recommend it. Alright, so the next game on the list is The Elder Scrolls Blades. And so this is a first-person action RPG where players play in the fantasy universe of Elder Scrolls, and this game actually takes place between the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion and the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. And so there's a lot of different modes that you can play in this game. It's kind of a more simplified version of the Elder Scroll games, where typically Elder Scroll games are more open world action RPGs. This is more of a first person action RPG, but has a lot more linear elements. So you'll be able to go through different quests in town, which send you to a dungeon or an area like a forest. And again, it's more of a linear progression where you explore the different dungeons, defeat enemies in one-on-one first-person battles, find treasure, and more. So again, like I said, there's kind of different ways to play this game. There's an arena mode, which is more person versus person. There's the story mode where you'll go through different quests and gain items and power up your character. There's more of an endless dungeon mode where it's more of a randomly generated endless dungeon that you can go through to level up and power up your character. There's even a town element where you rebuild a town. So when you start the game, you come upon this town that has basically been destroyed, and you'll go through the various different quests, exploring the land, getting items and resources, rescuing the townspeople, and rebuilding the town throughout the different quests. And so again, it's more of a streamlined Elder Scrolls experience as it was originally created as a mobile game. And so again, there is that microtransaction element where you maybe could buy additional gems or treasures to power up your character faster. But again, there's so much content to this game where you could really play for hours without ever having to tap into any of those paid elements within the game. So I think if you're looking for a great first-person dungeon crawling experience or more of a streamlined Elder Scrolls experience, I would recommend checking out the Elder Scroll Blades, as it's definitely one of the great free games available right now on Nintendo Switch. Alright, the next game on the list is Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. And so this is an online collectible card game that's similar to games like Magic the Gathering or Pokemon the trading card game. And so this game is free, but again, it does have those microtransaction elements where if you want to buy additional gems that you can use to get more packs or more cards to build better decks, that's always an option. But you can strictly play the game by itself, play against players across the world for free to unlock gems and new card packs as well, all for free. And so I think this really has a lot of the best elements of a collectible card game without a lot of the negatives, especially since it's free. And so for me, I'm definitely a huge collectible card game fan. I like games like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon the trading card game, Yu-Gi-Oh! I've always been a fan of those. But when it comes to the physical collecting element, it can be a lot of money buying additional booster packs, buying starter decks to find the right cards that you want. But on top of that, it can be very difficult to find players to play with in person on a regular basis. But again, what's really cool with this game, not only is it free, but you can log on at any time and duel people across the world in a matter of seconds. I never really found myself waiting to get into a match to play. You also gain rankings as you win battles and gain experience, and so they typically will pair you with people of your similar ranking, so you're not going against people with phenomenal decks that will destroy you right away. You're more playing against people of around the same skill level and same deck level. And so it keeps you engaged. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, it's free to play, so that's awesome. But if you do want to get into the paid side of it, you certainly can, but I think there's more than enough game here that you can play for free, making it definitely worth playing. So if you like collectible card games like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, or Yu-Gi-Oh!, I'd recommend checking out Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Alright, the next game on the list is Warframe. So this is a sci-fi action RPG that's sort of a first-person shooter, first-person action game, first-person stealth game, all in one. So you play as this Warframe, which is kind of like a cybernetic enhanced robot war suit. And so there's different types of these that you can choose from. There's more of an upfront melee character version. There's more of a spellcaster type version. And then one that's kind of a combo of everything. And on top of that, there's even different types of melee weapons that you can find in the game. So you could use like a sword or a staff. And then when it comes to secondary weapons, there's different options with that. And then even different primary weapons as well. So you might have like a machine gun or a bow and arrow depending on what you choose. And so there's a lot of variety in just picking your character to begin with, but on top of that, you go through all kinds of different missions, taking on an evil alien race, and so the story is slowly uncovered as you play through the game, so I won't go into that a ton. But like I said, it's an action RPG where you're traveling across the universe, using your Warframe to take on these alien races. So you'll gain experience as you take out these different aliens and robots throughout the universe, going through different quests, earning items, and there's a bunch of ways to customize your character as well. So you can get different modifications to attach to your character to make them more powerful. You'll gain experience, like I said, to level up your character and unlock new abilities, and much more. And so the game really reminds me of the Destiny series, which is kind of a first-person shooter RPG, where this feels very similar, a futuristic space setting where you travel across different planets, taking on missions, but this also has more of a melee element to the game as well, where you're able to do different parkour activities, so you'll be sliding, you'll be double jumping, doing dive rolls, and much more, on top of taking out people with your guns or bow and arrows or enhanced swords and weaponry. It's a lot of fun and it's super addicting. Again, it does have some microtransaction elements if you want to get into that, but there's definitely hours and hours of gameplay that you can experience all while playing for free. I've definitely enjoyed it so far. There's a lot of missions to play through and a lot of content there, and I definitely recommend it. Alright guys, so the last game on the list is Fortnite. Now you've probably heard of this game before. It's incredibly popular. It's a third-person shooter battle royale game where you airdrop into an arena and try and be the last player standing. Now there's tons of different guns you can choose from. There's also a unique building mechanic within the game, so you can build walls and structures that you can hide in or climb on top of to gain an aerial advantage against players. There's huge maps to play in, and over time the arena slowly shrinks to get down to the last few players, and again to be the last player standing. Now it's a really fun game, it's free, it's very addicting to play, but like I said, if you want to get things like your battle passes, your unique outfits that they have all the time, dance moves your characters can use, you're probably going to tap into that microtransaction territory, but again, that's never really anything I've been into, so I try and stay clear of that. Not to mention I'm pretty bad at the game, so it doesn't make sense to spend a lot of money on it, but it is one of those great free games. If you like battle royale games and third-person shooter games, I would definitely recommend it. Also, if you want more of an adult version of this, they recently came out with Apex Legends on Nintendo Switch, which could be another option you might want to check out if you're looking for another one of these shooter battle royale games. But with that said, that wraps up my list of the top 10 best free Nintendo Switch games right now. Let me know in the comments below if you have other games that are free that you recommend playing. I'd love to chat about it more with you in the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to check out one of our other videos as well. And if you haven't done so yet, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notifications to get the latest updates of new nerd videos we put out. But once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you more soon.